Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 TS Hub. This is the Prestige tier. We race at 9 PM every Friday night. This is our top tier F1 TS Hub and we are here in Singapore for round 4. Just to quickly say that obviously round 3, after circumstances last week, will be rerun. You can find all the info of that on the website www.f1tshub.com. But welcome everybody to the Prestige tier. And if you're wondering why Alan isn't introducing us this week, he's got some internet issues over in America, so hopefully he's going to try and sort those out. And yeah, Oz will be joining me for commentary as soon as he finishes his race, which is currently live in the Pinnacle tier. I know that one's looking pretty tasty at the moment. A safety car glitch in both of our tiers earlier on today, so will we have the same fate here tonight in our Prestige tier? Under 10 minutes left in the session, and one of the most important qualifying sessions of the season, being a street circuit. Of course, it means you got to get the correct lap and you got to keep it tidy, and I'm looking forward to seeing what our top drivers can do here tonight. 17 of them, and M44 we'll call him tonight. That is Techno Thriller, so he's just racing under a different account, but that is Techno Thriller, and he is a Prestige driver since the start of the season, so we will just refer to him as M44 for tonight. Odem's up there. He joined me in the commentary for the podium race earlier on, and he's actually coming back into the pit, so he's just fancied a little bit of a track workout, and yeah, come back to the Red Bull garage to try something else. Mally on a quick lap in the McLaren. I believe he's going to be the first driver to set a lap time, so looking forward to seeing what he can do. Just to let you know, over in the Pinnacle tier, the Bookster is leading, so yes, Ala Diaz isn't leading for once. The Bookster benefited from the safety car and he's leading, as well as congratulations to Joel, who took his first win in our podium tier at 7 PM earlier on tonight, so congratulations for the Toro Rosso driver. But our top tier, of course, will be rerun last week, so we've only completed 2 rounds of our Season 11 Championship, which is 12 races, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do here tonight. Singapore, one of my personal favourites, and a track I've always enjoyed pushing the car to the absolute limit. Odem's the only driver in the pits, everyone else on the ultra soft tyre, everyone else on a flying lap under the lights here in Singapore. And boy, do these cars look good as Mally comes under the DHL sign into the final couple of corners before we're about to see what time he can do in the McLaren. So Noik sets the time. He's the first driver, and what can Mally do? Mally goes wide actually, so that's cost him there. And we're seeing a Renault in the background come through. That time didn't count. Yellow flag to sector 3. Fletcher's retired from the session, so he's binned it in his Sauber on the last corner just as he crossed the line, so he got a lap time in, but albeit as he was heading towards the retirement from qualifying. So just shows you how tricky this track is, not only to get round in qualifying but the race as well. So MLA in the Scarlet Ferrari, he is on a quick lap as well. Odems is in the pits. Its Heskey time is also in the pits, and Noik currently sits on top, a 136.4. That's a good lap from Noik. So Kian up into 3rd at the moment, and what can the 2 Ferraris do? They're both on hot laps. Bisas, we haven't seen too much of him. He crosses the line to put it into 2nd, 3/10 off Noik at the moment, so he'll crawl back to the pits and get another set of boots for one more flying run. We're seeing Julian now pop it into 3rd position ahead of Mally, and Switchy comes in 1.3 off the lead, just ahead of Kian. M44 up there, so MLA pops it into 4th, a second off. What can his teammate Sean do? Sean, of course, joined me for the first time ever in commentary last week in the podium tier. Did a brilliant job. Here he comes. Last couple of corners, pushing to the limit. Only enough for 6th position at the moment. So I mentioned in the earlier tier that I commentated on, the gaps will be bigger here. There's more corners. It's more tricky. It's easier to make mistakes. And of course, corner cutting is on strict. So you can easily enough invalidate your lap time. Fletcher Boy currently on a quick lap as well. We'll see what he can do. This doesn't look like it's going to be the quickest of the session. I think he's bailing on it. So Steven behind him, he's bailing as well. And first runs look done and dusted here in the Prestige tier. So hello to everyone watching. The Pinnacle race is still live. We are just under 6 minutes left of this qualifying session, and yeah, Alan isn't able to make it tonight due to internet issues, but Ols will be joining me for commentary from the Pinnacle tier as soon as his race finishes. I believe they've got the safety car issue as we had in the podium tier, and I wonder if we will see it here as well tonight in the Prestige tier. Beast has crawling around with no fuel. This is a long lap, of course, so there only is really enough for 2 runs. Black number also coming back. Julian is on he's gone quicker in the first sector, look to me. So no, I think he's just finished his second flying run. Yeah, so he's going to head back to the pits now. MLA is just coming back, as is Mally. Sean's obviously on his way back as well in the Ferrari. So yeah, Noah currently heads the way. He took his first win in Silverstone, so congratulations to him. As we've said before, he made it a Haas 1-2 with Malloy joining him on the podium. So 17 drivers here tonight in the Prestige tier, our highest attended tier so far this season out of the 3 that we have, and it's our top tier, it's our mighty tier, and it's fantastic to see them go head to head, some of the best drivers on the Formula 1 game, of course. If you hear me pause, I haven't left, I've just stopped for a quick drink break, because I imagine I'll be doing a lot of talking through this one. I'm looking forward to Oz joining me. I haven't commentated with him in a couple races, so it'll be good to have him back in the commentary box. So Fletcher has left the session. We're hearing he's got issues with his setup or his pad or something like that. So Julian crawls back in low fuel mode as we wait for someone to come. Oh, Fletcher's come out. So Fletcher hasn't set a lap time yet. He's come out back on the Ultra Soft, all of which all 17 drivers are on, by the way. And yeah, he's going to try and set a lap time. He has put enough fuel in for 2 laps, and I believe he'll get round in enough time to do 2 laps if he wants to. So yes, that'll be key for him. VSR Charles is coming out. Heskey Time's retired, so he's decided not to set a lap time. Yellow flag in sector 1. Odams is on an out lap as well. He hasn't managed to set a lap time. He absolutely despises his track, which I'm sure he's made apparent to everybody, but I'm sure he will give it his all. He crashed in the practice session, our official practice session that we run on Thursdays. It's Heskey Time's left the session, so I wonder what's happened to him. We'll wait and see whether he says anything in the Prestige tier chat. Mally's coming back out, currently in 6th position, so McLaren in 2nd and 6th at the moment. Black number up there in 3rd as well. Just added Julian, who's done well since he joined F1 tier, so I've been impressed by his driving. Switchy almost didn't make it. It's Heskey Time's back in, so he won't be able to, he retired, so he won't be able to actually set a lap time, but he will nevertheless be able to race. So Fletcher Boy starts his lap in the Force India. We'll ride on board for a minute. Will he get interrupted? No. The person coming out the pits stays well clear. Looks pretty tidy through there so far. Max fuel as he heads towards the Singapore slot. Many scenes of incidents over the years at F1 TS Hub. Car looks beautifully hooked up so far. He's going to catch a Ferrari down this straight. Hopefully they'll get out of the way nice and cleanly. And into the braking zone. Easy to cut here, run wide. No, keeps it nice and clean. And no, that wasn't a Ferrari. I think that was another car. And this has been a good lap so far, in my opinion. And nicely hits the apex, dances it near to the wall. Deflectors rejoin, so it looks like we will have 17 racing again. And you can really push the car through this section of the track if you have the confidence in it. That's what it's about around Singapore. Get the confidence in the car, and the rest, the lap time, will follow. You've got to be daring, you've got to be brave, and it looks like Fletcher Boy is putting in a decent lap so far, a 27.3 for Sector 2. And I'm not up there with my sector time, so I can't tell you if that's any good or not, but we'll wait until he crosses the line to find out where he pops up. He will be able to set another lap time. He's got enough fuel. Will he want to do that on that set of tyres? Yellow flags in Sector 1, and BSR Charles, he has retired from the session, so he's obviously, I can only imagine, corner cut and retired. So Fletcher Boy's got the Renault in front. Hopefully won't hold him up too much. No, I don't think he will at all. As he comes across the line, pops it into 5th position, so second off, and he's given up. So that's his time, done and dusted. What can Beast has to do? The defending champion of our top tier. What can he do here at F1 TS Hub? We know he's a man who likes to push the car to the limit, likes to leave those last laps to the last minute and absolutely put it in. Look how close he gets the wall in the curves. Fantastic driving from Beast Has. We've got Black Mamba on a hot lap, Julian on a hot lap, so Odense pops it up into 3rd on his flying lap. That's his only time he's going to be able to set here, so he'll have to wait and see who jumps ahead of him. 4 seconds, 3 seconds left, so anyone who crosses the line now will be able to set lap time. Anyone who crosses the line now won't be able to set a lap time, so plenty of times to tumble. Noek also on a quick lap, trying to improve his provisional pole time. Black Mamba on a quick lap, as you mentioned. Julian, we've got MLA, both Ferraris on a quick lap. So Skeevan pops it up into 2nd now, so there you have it. Big changer up the order. Who else is going to be able to... Mally calls it a day in his McLaren. He's finished his lap. Beast has to saw a green sector time. That means he's up on his personal best. Noek's retired, so Noek obviously felt he can improve. What can Beast has to do? Can he steal this pole position here? Fletcher Boy, as we mentioned, isn't going to set another lap time. Beast has comes across the line. He does take pole position by 2 tenths. Can anyone stop him? Black Mamba's about to cross the line. He improves but isn't able to do anything. What about Julian? He's on a quick lap. He's got not much fuel left, so he's cutting this fine. Should just be enough to cross the line. Keep an eye. You see MLA jumps into 7th, so he's still 1.1 off the pole position time at the moment. Julian gets so close to the wall. That was a kiss and a half there. Black Mamba in 4th position now with that one. Julian jumps back up into 5th, so Odems has gone from 3rd to 6th. Had a little cough there. We saw that Sean retired from the session, so he wasn't able to improve. Let's run down the order. Bisas up in pole position. Noek takes 2nd alongside him. Skeevan up in 3rd. Black Mamba in 4th. Julian in 5th. Odems takes 6th. Keen in 7th. That's a good result from him. One of our esports drivers. Just ahead of our other esports driver of MLA. Switchy in 9th. Fletcher Boy 10th. Mally in 11th. Sean in 12th. M44 brackets Techno Thriller in 13th. James Slater, D Fletcher, Heskey and Charles round out the top 17. Heskey and Charles not setting a time, so anyone from 11th, of course, will be able to pick their tyre choice. So that'll be interesting to see how that affects certain strategy. So will we get any wet weather as well? That'll be interesting to say the least. All the drivers are going to be selecting their fuel, selecting their tyre strategy as they await the Singapore Grand Prix, and we eagerly await to see what happens as well. Just to bring you news on the Pinnacle tier, Bookster still leads with Wuma back up into 2nd, Ala Diaz in 3rd, Gaza doing an amazing job in 4th, Matt, your daddy, who had a quali ban, in 5th, Dweller in 6th, Matt in 7th, Alls in 8th, he'll be joining me in the commentary box after his race, Cloudy in 9th, Lawrence in 10th, Chopper in 11th, and Sam is in 12th position. They're behind another safety car, so we can only predict that that is pretty much the glitch. But we got the formation lap to get underway, so we'll get our telemetry set up. We lighten that one full. We'll get the gap to the interval, of course, and then we'll see. So we can see the top 11 are all on ultra softs, presumably Mally starting on fresh. Sean is on supers, James Slater's on supers, and it's Heskey times on soft. Now, when you run long in this race, if there is a safety car, it can actually really play to your advantage, because you can obviously just come in when the safety car comes out and almost get a free pit stop. So will those drivers who started on the harder compound come into play with that strategy? It'd be really interesting to find out. Lap 29 of the 31 on the pinnacle tier, so Bookster looks set to take a win there and continue his podium streak to 15. But this is our top tier, this is our 9 PM prestige tier. Make sure we've got live race updates across all of our social media, so that's Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. You can find us at F1TS Hub over there, so make sure you go over and give us a follow or a like, and of course subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we like to see our numbers get as high as we can on there. If you want to comment on the chat, by all means put something, and as soon as I see it I'll try and comment on it if it's deserving. BSAS, of course, pole position. He was a man that we haven't talked too much about this season. He hasn't had the best starts to his championship defence, but yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do from that first place today. All the drivers need to remember, Singapore is a long race. You can be out of it and back in it and out of it again. So you got to be careful, you got to be calm, and you got to be collective. But these guys are some of the top guys on F1, so they know exactly what they're doing. If you see any disqualifications, this is only the formation lap, so they will line up on the grid as and when we all get there and we get our 5 lights up and running. Of course, late night talk show every Friday at 10:30 PM. We grab some drivers from each tier, we get them into a chat, and we basically try and dissect their race, dissect what they need to do different, controversies, all that sort of stuff. So that's also available on our channel every Friday night at 10:30 UK time. So we'll have a quick drink whilst the drivers line up on the grid. Alrighty, 5 lights are on and they are off. It looks like a good start from Noik on the inside. It might be he's actually got already BSAS. No, BSAS covers him off quite aggressively. We're seeing a Red Bull and a Toro Rosso touch there slightly, and not seeing any spinners as of yet. They both come and rejoin the track. So that was Julian, I believe. They all seem to have got round turn 1, 2 and 3 in one piece, coming up to the Singapore slingshot, going side by side round here. Can end in tears. Is anyone going to find themselves with a wheel missing? And lots of movers, as Fletcher Boy looks to be the one who's lost the most at the moment. BSAT still leads ahead of Noik and Skeven. Black Mamba, the top 4 haven't changed. So yeah, we'll give you a roundup of exactly who's moved where after this first lap, but a very clean first lap from the top drivers. Perhaps they heard me as I was saying, anything can happen in Singapore, keep it on the road, keep it out the barriers. And as they all filter through, this is great to see. We've got going 3 wide. This could end impossible. No, so Techno Thriller brackets M44 gets through there. He's up a couple of positions. They all come over the bridge. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Techno Thriller touches, so the Toro Rosso squeezes them. That was a little bit too much. That was switchy, I believe. So now D Fletcher's going to attack Techno Thriller, and as they head down into one of the heavy braking zones. Techno Thriller going to hold it on the outside, touches. Oh, he's getting bullied around, and you have to say not all of it very fair. Now he touches a Mercedes as well. He goes around the outside of him. So what a poor few corners. You have to say he was just caught up at the wrong place at the wrong time. And yeah, top 4 BSAS leads at the moment. And our pinnacle tier is just finishing. The Books just won that. Ali Diaz finished second. Gaza scored a podium. So wow, massive congratulations to him. Not sure what happened to Woma, but he's retired. So yeah, interesting to see the least. We'll concentrate on this one though. Julian has come into the pits, so he's obviously got damage. Yeah, changing his wing, putting a new set of boots on. So let's see, is anyone else stopped? No, just Julian who's in the pits. And we can see that Sean is doing well on his super soft tyre. Let's switch over and see what's happening between him and Mally. It looks pretty tasty. Sean fancies it down the inside. The extra grip of those ultras isn't going to help him, and he'll be hoping in a few laps time that that pace will start come towards his strategy. So hopefully he'll also be joining us soon. D Fletcher moves up a position ahead of VSR Charles, and excuse me, and Techno Thriller brackets M44. So the 2 Force India's line astern. BSAS has got out of DRS of Noik. Black Mamba's just half a second off the podium place at the moment. All the drivers just starting to try and stretch their legs out of the DRS. And it'll be interesting to see how they do. James Slater down in 15th position, also on that superset tyre, so be interesting to see what those drivers can do from there. Will there be a safety car? We've seen both safety car glitches in our other two tiers. Will we have it here in our top prestige tier every Friday night at 9 PM, of course? And BSAS leads the way from pole position as we end lap 2 now. We're just about to begin lap 3, and he sets the fastest lap of the race. So no, holding him 1.1 seconds at the moment. So all looking pretty tasty throughout the field. Sean right on the back of Mally, so we'll follow this one for a minute and see whether Sean's able to do anything. Look at Techno Thriller with he's just behind VSR Charles as well. You've got James Slater just behind Fletcher Boy, so all drivers keeping it clean. Julian obviously is going around, he had wing damage, but he was the biggest loser from the start, and I didn't even see him spin, so it must have been minor contact from the Toro Rosso driver. And yeah, it's fantastic to see. No lag on my screen either, so we've had that in a few recent weeks, and it looks to have sorted itself out. So looking forward to that. Here we go. Is Sean going to try down the inside? No, thinks better of it. The Ferrari, of course, Ferrari team, himself and MLA. They won the championship constructors with Mercedes last season, season 10, and now they've jumped ship to Ferrari. So they fancied the scarlet red. It does look beautiful under these lights. Hello to everyone watching. As I mentioned, this is our top prestige tier. Alan isn't here tonight, but hopefully he'll be back next week, and hopefully we should be getting Ols in our party. And Ols, welcome aboard.
Hello, how are you?
Yes, not too bad. Have you managed to get into the lobby at all?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I sent you quite a few invites, so hopefully one of them should still be valid. And you should be able to get in. It's all been pretty clean. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been absolutely fantastic racing. Ols has joined the session. Welcome Ols to the commentary box. And we're seeing Sean, the closest battle. He started outside the top 10 on these super softs. He's trying to get past Mally on the ultras. And BSAS took pole. And everyone's just kind of stayed as they are, more or less. We've had a couple fallers, as you imagine, but no spins on the first lap, no DNFs. And this shows you exactly why this is our top tier F1 TS Hub. Sean darts in to the... Oh, we've got yellow flags in sector 1. Have I spoke too soon? Sean kind of forces his way through with a late braking manoeuvre. And no, Mally gets it back. So I didn't see. Maybe Sean got a bit of a tank slapper or something there. But Sean wasn't able to get the job done. Oh, gets very close to the wall. Can you hear me, Oz?
Yes, I'm here. I am here. I'm in the lobby. I managed to get inside the lobby this time.
Good stuff. Sean trying down the inside now with a hairpin. It looks like he's going to get the job done. Yes, he moves. Yeah, no, it looks like Mally's still got the inside.
Yeah, and just behind them, Switchy and Deflector are also battling, and Switchy's made the move and has made it stick. Mercedes
is there too to come and join in the party. Isn't able to get anything out of this now, but it's been brilliantly clean racing so far. I can't take anything away. Look at our two esports drivers. You've got MLA and Kian in 6th and 7th at the moment. Odems, who hates this track, is in 5th position, so he's doing okay. So whilst we got a second with no overtakes, what happened towards the end of that Pinnacle race? Woma crashed out?
It looked like that. Obviously, I wasn't too far near the front, so all I saw was his car just by the start-finish straight. But he might have lost it on the final corner and must have gone into the barrier. But it wasn't the way he wanted to finish. He was going on for a very, very good result there, and he'll be disappointed with how it finished.
So just to let you know, M44 is actually Techno Thriller. Sean, is he going to finally get the job done on Techno Thriller? He's going to keep the inside line surely, as VSR Charles gets the job done on Switchy, who goes way too late into that corner. The only reason he slows his car down was because he touched the Mercedes. and he's lost the position. The Mercedes had the inside line, so we'll keep an eye on this one, because De Fletcher looks like a man who wants to send it late on the brakes here in Singapore. That doesn't always end well, but yeah, Bookster breaks Ali Diaz's hold of the wins in the Pinnacle tier, and we'll see what these guys can do in the Prestige tier. Looking very clean, as I mentioned, looking tidy, looking like it's going to be a good race on our hands.
Yeah, definitely. It's looking from 8th all the way down to possibly 13th, and maybe even 14th. It's looking very, very tight, and this is what we need: overtaking in a street track like this, and possibly some DNFs. This is a very, very good recipe for a good race. I'm looking forward to see how it develops.
Yeah, I can't see exactly who's going to be the first driver to DNF, but I'm surprised we haven't had one so far. Lap 6 out of 31, no safety cars, no DNFs. This is why we call them the top tier, perhaps, Ols.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see the top 20 drivers battling out, clean racing, and putting the best times up on the boards. It's just great racing.
Here comes Black Mamba down the inside of the long straight. He overshoots it slightly. Is he going to be able to keep the position? No, he goes back down the inside, stops the Williams driver turning in. Skeven perhaps being very kind there, and all 4 wheels off the track to complete that overtake. Perhaps the stewards will look into that one if it's reported to the steward's office. But Black Mamba up into the podium position, just behind Noek, who I found out recently is actually his brother. So there you have it, bit of family rivalry, as Techno Thriller brackets M44 gets past De Fletcher, who's falling down the order, and is Fletcher Boy going to be able to try and get past De Fletcher next time around? So that's Salbert struggling.
Oh, De Fletcher's hit the wall, and he's damaged his wing.
Yep, I saw that definitely.
Not exactly what he wanted, but I'm sure he'll bounce back.
Yes, hopefully he can come in, get some... Julian was the only driver to pit on the first lap. I think he's still the only driver to pit. Oh, he hits the wall again, does Fletcher Boy, so struggling with that wing damage. But yeah, he's going to have to come in. Julian, the only driver to pit, who's slowly closing up the order, and he's on the supers at the moment. So Fletcher Boy will follow him back to the pits, make sure he gets in safely. BSAS leads by 1.9 at the moment, so comfortable, 1.6 I think that is now. Comfortable at the moment, and Skeven hanging on to the back of Black Mamba and DRS. Switchy comes into the pits as well, so James Slater gets ahead of De Fletcher. We've got a few in the pits.
And we also have Techno Thriller in the struggle.
So Switchy, De Fletcher, Techno and Fletcher Boy. Perhaps that won't hurt Fletcher Boy's race too much, that incident, but he is going to have to double stack behind his teammate here, so look, he's going to have to wait. That is a painful place to wait for your teammate to finish being serviced.
Yeah, definitely. We've got just to run over the tyres that they've just selected. De Fletcher's gone onto the softs, Switchy's gone onto the super softs, Techno has gone onto the softs, and so has Fletcher Boy on the softs. So varying strategies here, and possibly the one stop might work on both of these tyres. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think anyone who fits the soft tyre can definitely take it to the end. But as Odin's mentioned earlier, in the podium race, that the tyres, yeah, they'll go on percentage-wise. We've got yellow flags in sector 2. What's happened there? Something's happened to De Fletcher. He's got an incident.
Yeah, he's gone back off again and knocked his wing.
Oh, he's struggling
there.
Yeah, he's going to have to reverse back on track. Got to be careful. And yeah, you can go a long way on the tyres, but the lap time you lose, they feel okay, but you lose lap time. He's really struggling to get the car facing the right way. He needs to...
he's lit those tyres up.
Yep, and he's not sure what he's doing. I think he just needs to retire from this one. Skeven retires. What's happened to Skeven? In the pits. So, strange one there. Not too sure, but good thing that he's retired in the pits. Hopefully that doesn't bring out a safety car. He's left the session. Perhaps he's had to go. So De Fletcher, what is he doing? And I'm sure the stewards won't be looking too kindly on this. Also, stewards yourself, this isn't the sort of racing we want to be seeing, and this is just I don't even know why he's doing this. This is just silly. He's just binned it on purpose, and he's retired from the session. poor sportsmanship, poor racing there, I have to say. He could cause a safety car glitch that we've seen in both our other tiers, and that would just be disappointing.
Yeah, not what we want to see here on the top tier and in the league in general. But trying to remain impartial, it will be taken. I'm sure it will be taken to the stewards, and we'll all have a chat, see what we can do.
Yeah, but, definitely. Fletcher Boy now up into 15. So we've had 2 retirees, but you have to say that they haven't been from a car pushing to the limit and kind of nicking the wall or making a critical error like that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Bisas, I was saying earlier, Oz, we haven't really mentioned him too much this season, but you know, he's showing a controlled defending championship drive right here.
Yeah, he is. He's keeping it clean. He's making sure he hits his apexes, and it almost looks like when he's driving, he's driving it so effortless. He hasn't got to put so much effort in. And as a driver, once you know when you're not putting so much effort in, and you can still get top times and things like that, it's a great feeling.
Matty comes into the pits from those ultra soft tires. So one of the early ultra soft guys on actually strategy merit, unless I think he's got wing damage, so perhaps this is forced through a mistake.
He has, yes.
So he's going to have that changed, and he's going to fit the super softs, and he'll try and perhaps, you would imagine, take those to the end of the race. Julian now, who pitted on the first lap, back up to 11th position. Heskey started on those softs and he's up to 10th position, so it just shows you if you start on the harder compound, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to say the least to see how far they can get up.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be really interesting to see how these strategies play out. Of course, the dreaded safety car glitch could come into it and totally mess things up, like I've said in the previous 2 races. But it'll be nice to see the 1 stops, the 2 stops, to see whether these strategies are on point.
Yeah, nobody within a second of each other, so this is pretty crazy. But that's all we saw in the previous 2 tiers, the podium at 7 PM and the pinnacle at 8 PM. By the way, did Gaza finish on the podium? Because if he did, I need to give him a massive shout out to him. Congratulations, Gaza.
Absolutely fantastic.
Shows you, you know, you just don't give up. Doesn't matter how quick you are, you put the effort in, put the performance in, and look at that. Gaza, first podium at F1 TS Hub. Massive congratulations. Black Mamba's got past his brother Noek, so Noek's what's happened to Noek? Is he's got wing damage. So Noek's made a mistake from 2nd place, wing damage. Odems is now up into 3rd position, and here comes MLA to give him a pass as well.
Yeah, definitely not what Noek would want to deal with at the moment. I think at the past couple of races, he's been driving pretty well, but I'm not exactly sure where he's finished, but I'm sure he's done well, and he wants to build on what he's got so far. But as I was speaking, MLA's gone past, and I don't think Sean is too far down the road.
No, he definitely isn't.
But yeah, the only driver at the moment who's within a second is Kian, just behind Sean. Kian being the esports driver, one of the esports drivers for the F1 TS Hub. He's having a good showing this time out, and he's had he's been a bit unlucky in the past couple of races. He's shown that he's got pace. He's just been a bit unlucky with instances of overtaking and
definitely
things like that.
Definitely has, but perhaps he's actually able to, you know, put in a good performance here in the prestige tier, because we know he can. You know, he's a champion of the podium tier last season, so he's got that pace, he's got the know-how, and he definitely puts the practice in. So he's just come back from a holiday too, so he should be feeling refreshed.
Yeah, definitely. He hasn't got anything to prove. He proved it last season when he won the championship, that he's got the skills and the pace. So it's a good showing for him so far. And as we were having a chat, Noak's gone into the pits, and so has Odems.
Yeah, so a couple of drivers that'll bump the 2 Ferraris and Kian up as well. So Noak, VSO Charles, and Odems all in the pits. And one stop strategy, I think, for most of these guys is going to be what's on the cards.
Yeah, definitely. It all depends on what tyre they put on next. The softs, which will definitely get you to the end, or the super softs, which if you look after them, they'll definitely get you there. But it depends on whether you want the time and to be able to push on the tyres. But yeah, one stop definitely.
VSR Charles in the pits as well, so he's going to switch over. Switch over there. But yeah, so he's going to switch over to yeah. So this is definitely, I think, setting up nicely for a one-stop strategy. The top three, of course, top four not coming into the pits. How will Sean be able to deal with it? He started on those supers. This could really bring him into play. He's not that far off the podium positions.
Yeah, this could be a very, very good call to start on the super softs. He's only 5 seconds behind MLA, so he's on point with the time difference on the two compounds. So he's doing a really, really good stint on these super soft tyres, and he might be coming in around about lap 18, I think. Possibly around about that time, lap 18, lap 19 maybe. And Heskey time has just picked up a 3-second time penalty. That Beastars and Black Amber just pitted alongside with Kia.
So yeah, the leader, he'll come out in third position, what looks like. So
He's come out on softs.
So he's going to the end, surely.
Yes. We've got Black Amber on supers, and Kia's also on supers. So again, these type strategies are really interesting to see how they're going to play out towards the last, say, 5 or 6 laps of the race. It's going to be fantastic to watch.
Yeah, it definitely will. Let's see how. So MLA leads at the moment. Let's switch over. James Slater on the back of Odems, who has pitted. So James Slater, I believe, started on that set of tyres. Julian just behind, who boxed on lap 1, so he's already up. Just shows you you're never out of this race. This is Singapore.
Oh, definitely. With Singapore, you've always got to have the mindset of no matter where you are during the race, you can still pick up points, because people will make mistakes with it being this kind of track and with it being a street circuit as well. You've always got to have the mindset of, right, no matter where I am, I can still pick up points, because with many of the drivers in the podium at the pinnacle, they've had that mindset and they've picked those points up. So come on drivers, keep those mindsets going, and you'll still be fine to pick up some points.
Yeah, definitely. So no safety car so far, as MLA pits from the lead. Sean will now take over the lead, and no safety car so far. So just shows you, it doesn't always happen in Singapore, but I shouldn't speak too soon. And as we have James Slater hounding the back of Odems at the moment.
Yeah, he's catching him.
Oh no, sorry, I meant Julian all over the back of James Slater. My mistake.
Yes, I think he's the only one. Oh, he's touched. Oh!
Whoa, what is going on there?
He is flipped.
Yes, I see that, and he's back with wing damage. What on earth was that?
Wait, that was possibly a reenactment of Mark Webber going over Heikki Island in Valencia.
Was it just a hit from the rear, or, I mean, that's the strangest, that is so strange. Julian will be going, what on earth just happened there? He must feel dizzy after that one. BSAS, by the way, is in second, 4.7 behind Sean, who hasn't pitted. And wow, what that... Words don't come close to describing that, I don't think.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And that was... I can't describe what it was like. I've never seen that happen. So just what?
Yes, Noak's just got past Julian, by the way, so Julian not making it too difficult for drivers. He understands he's got damage, so he'll come back to the pits. He'll pit again, and that'll be him. He'll go to the end of the race, surely, so it'll be interesting to see what he's able to do from there.
Yeah, I expect him to go on the soft tyre and go to the end on that.
Mally's carry on.
it's a bit unlucky for him, really, because you never want lag to influence your race, and when it does, it looks like it's about. No, sorry. When it does, it just puts a bit of a downer on you, and thinking what could have been.
What's happened to Odems?
Bounce back, I'm sure.
Odems is ghosting at the moment. What's happened to him? He was doing so well, and he just gets passed by MLA. So I'm not sure what's happened to the Red Bull driver at the moment. We'll have to wait and see. I didn't see him at the bottom. It didn't say he has left the session. I didn't see it anyway, unless I missed it. And we can also see, look at the train just behind Switchy. Those guys are pretty close, as Julian is in the pits for his second stop of the race due to damage, of course, and strange damage. So Odems gets now passed by Noek. So he himself had a bit of wing damage. Kian gets... So what's happened there to its Heskey times? Seems to have maybe made a small mistake there.
I think those tyres are starting to lose grip. It seems to be... I'm not sure whether it's lag, but every now and then he seems to be sliding into corners. So whether he's losing grip, that might be what's happening, and he's sliding every now and then with the traction of the back end of the car. And he's slowing down.
Yeah, there's a Salver slowing down as well. So it's Heskey time. It's Heskey time. Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, he does seem to be sliding. You're right. Oh, it's a good spot there. Black Mamba sets 2 fastest lap in a row. He means business. And Beast is slowly clawing that gap to Sean. And,
Charles is going in for a move on Valley Kekak.
Oh, this is. Ooh, has to back out of that one.
Switch has got past Odems.
Odin's falling straight down the order. He's definitely AI, so that's a pity for him. Maybe his controller or something's died, but yeah, that's an absolute shame. So VSR Charles all over the back of Mali at the moment. You have to say this has been the cleanest. This is probably the cleanest Singapore race we've ever had at F1 TS Hub. So well done to these guys so far. Heskey's in the pits and he's retired from the session.
Retired.
So he's called it a day.
Yeah.
Can VSR Charles? Yeah, can VSR Charles get past this McLaren? This is for 9th position at the moment. Tucked right up behind.
He's going for it.
Talk us through it.
Yeah. He's side by side. He's taking the inside of the corner, and he's got it. Is he gonna? Yeah, he's got that.
Need to point out as well, Beast has just got within DRS of Sean, as Noak is also in DRS of MLA, so perhaps we're about to see some battles a bit closer to the front, about to kick off as well. Thank you to Heskey and Stephen for retiring in the pit lane as the steward's request. Deflex obviously didn't do the same, but we need to point out when drivers do follow the rules and are respectful. We should mention that as well.
Yeah, definitely. When the sportsmanship comes out with these drivers, it's very, very good. It shows the spirit of of sport in general as well. And everyone congratulates each other for the winner and for the podium, and people who have generally performed really, really well. It's great to see in leagues, and should be encouraged more. And it's great that the level of it is so high in this league.
Sean goes super defensive, by the way, on the inside. He's going to push Bisas out of room there. Bisas is going to kind of hold it. They're touching wheels. Bisas goes down the inside. Sean has to concede. Is he going to be able to do switch back? I don't think so. Sean does go back down the inside. They touch, and they're going to run. No, they both managed to keep it clean. No, it gets past MLA, by the way, down the main straight. So MLA must have had a poor exit. That's before the braking zone.
As Beastas was overtaking Sean, Kian got past James Slater for 6th.
Good spot there. So Kian up into almost the top 5 now. So James Slater, I don't believe he's pitted. Let's run through. We can see that Sean, James Slater are the only 2 drivers not to pit, and they are both started on the Super Softs. You presume they're going to take those tyres, put on the Ultras, and see how far they can. Presumably they'll go to the end of the race, but. It'll be interesting to see how far they can get up the grid from there. VSR Charles on the back of switching too.
Let's have a look at that.
Coming down, this is one of the few straights.
Yes, just 2 temps in it, and I think Charles is... Oh, he's in the outside.
To be the inside to the next corner. Yeah, cuts back in. Odems has got past. Odems is back in his car. We don't know what happened still. So he didn't leave the session. I haven't seen him rejoin either. So he must have not left. He's in 10th position, got ahead of Mally. So what can he do there? He'll be pushing that car now like he wasn't before. And if I know Odems, he's going to push it to the limit. And if he bins it, so be it. But we'll keep an eye on his progress. Keep an eye on as well, VSO Charles. Can he get past that Toro Rosso of Switchy? Doing a good job of defending, might I add. Black Mamba gets ahead of Sean, by the way. Side by side.
Ah, there we are, yes.
So, job done. Black Mamba's got good pace. Only 2.2 seconds behind BSAS, might I add. He's on the quicker tyre, which aren't obviously going to be quicker, you don't think, towards the last few laps of the race. But up until then, what can he do on this? He's been going pretty quick. I've seen his lap time come. Switchy gets ahead of James Slater now, and it looks like VSR Charles has also got ahead. He gets such a run. Is he going to sink it down the inside? He does just that.
Oh, he has.
Gets the job done.
Great overtake.
Opportunistic there from the Mercedes driver.
Yeah, definitely. He's picked up 2 positions within a couple of corners. Great driving there. He's also on the quicker tyre, so he's going to be pitting yet again. So he has to get through the field so that he has enough time to get back out in front of these guys.
Yeah, definitely 2 seconds. Now the gap between the top 2. And yellow flags in sector 2. Julian's retired. What's happened to Julian? He's made a mistake and he's binned it. So his car's right in the middle of the track. And is this going to bring out a safety car? Fletcher Boy moves up, and that's our 4th retiree of the day. Front wheel missing as well, floating underneath him.
It is. Yeah, he was doing really, really well. He's going to be disappointed with that.
He was doing a good fight back, that's for sure. So Sean now pits. Sean comes into the pits from those Super Souls and pits on the Ultras, like I said. So the only other driver yet to do that is James Slater. And Sean will come out just behind Kian. So Charles is under attack now from Switchy. He's in DRS. Mally's in DRS of Odems, so Odems hasn't managed to break away from him. Yeah, it's going pretty well so far at the moment for most of these guys. Obviously, commiserations to the few guys that have had to call it a day early on this Friday night. And if you fancy joining us, of course you can sign up to the league. There is a form to fill out on the website www.f1tshub.com, and you can join our waiting list. We do have multiple figures on the waiting list, but of course we will try and get guys seated as quickly as possible. You can also follow live race updates. Obviously we're live broadcasted on YouTube, but Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you've got live race updates on there. And of course you can get a discount using the code F1TSHub when you visit Kids Gaming and of course Boss Boxes. So those are our sponsors, so a big shout out to them. And if you fancy some gaming accessories, by all means head over to them.
Yes, and in the meantime, Switchy he's still keeping it in DRS behind VSR Charles, and he is bringing Odems and Valley into the picture as well. Odems now only about 7 tenths away from Switchy, so this is going to turn into a throwaway fight pretty soon, with Malikakik not too far behind. As Charles picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, I was just going to say, strict corner cutting here for Singapore, the stewards have decided, so we will see some drivers with a few penalties. I know Sean got one earlier, and Black Number, and obviously VSR Charles now as well. So Techno Thriller brackets M44 has just got ahead of James, as James has finally come into the pits. Sean's got ahead of Kian as well, so he's a man on a mission. Black Number's reading in BSAS 1.4 seconds now, the gap between those two.
Yeah, he is on a mission.
Odems goes past Switchy.
Yes, and they're still fighting in the next couple of corners as well. Oh, Switchy's done the switch back.
I'll tell you what happened there, Odems went so deep he had to just slam on the brakes to save himself from hitting the wall. So yeah, wow, that was a close one for the Red Bull driver. Now he's got to do it all again.
Yeah, he's definitely got the all or nothing mentality at the moment, and it almost ended right there.
Yeah, they're going to have to go at this again. Of course, sister teams, Toro Rosso and Red Bull. I imagine no team orders. Is Odom's going to sling it down the inside? No, he thinks better of it here. He does feel he's got the extra pace on Switchy at the moment, so we'll see what the Red Bull driver can do. 1.1, I'm keeping an eye on that gap at the top, Oz.
Yeah, definitely. And this battle between Switchy and Odems, it's allowed VSR Charles to pull away. So this is leaving VSR Charles with a great chance to just keep putting time on these guys, so that when he does have to go back into the pits, he has a better chance of ending up in front of them.
Sean sets the fastest lap. Noah comes into the pits, as does VSR Charles on that lap. So they're both two stopping. They'll fall down the order. Noah got a 5-second penalty for speeding as well. So that's made his day go from bad to worse after that wing damage early on. 1 second. Black Mamba's close to getting that gap. Odems versus Switchy at the moment, though, side by side. Odems is going to go for the supreme exit. Open his DRS, tucked in nicely. Mali's there, so he's got to be careful as well.
He is. Yeah, definitely. We all know when there's free races, the driver in the middle has to be on guard that little bit extra. But Odems and Mali get past Switchy, so not a good few corners for Switchy.
Looked to me like Switchy actually let Mali through there, and Mali's actually giving a little weave on the straight to say thank you for that, I believe. So I think that was an orchestrated move, and there you go. Mali up, follows Odems, 6th and 7th now at the moment. Good. This will be a good recovery from Odems if he can continue this pace. Meanwhile, look at the top two. It's under a second. Yeah. Black Mamba's coming for you, Beastaz.
I
was just going to say,
Black Mamba.
Yeah, carry on. I think we're going to say the same thing.
I do believe that Black Mamba won the practice race as well with some impressive times. So he's got form. He's got form here at Singapore, and he's shown it here tonight. And he's chasing him down at a rapid pace.
Very similar things we were going to say then. I was going to say, so he won on the official practice on Thursday. Now he also won in season 10 last time the top tier raced here. So it was his first race, I believe, in that tier, and he actually took the win. Bisas was leading but had a lag moment and ended his race, and Black Mamba went on to take the win. So he does like this track, does Black Mamba. He's showing us exactly why now. Noah gets ahead of Switchy as Switchy comes in for his final stop of the race. Lap 21 out of 31 here at F1 TS Hub for the Prestige tier. And it's all happening at the front at the moment. Black Mamba versus Bisas, different tyre compounds. If Black Mamba can get past, you have to say he's going to make it his absolute life to defend it, as Bisas is going to now.
Oh yes, definitely, and with Black Mamba being on the quicker compound, Bisas has got to do his best to keep him behind. I feel like as soon as Black Mamba was past him, that would be that's the race for Black Mamba. MLA on the other hand, he's 24 seconds behind, so I find it very, very difficult to see him featuring for the win, but definitely for a podium, as well as Sean and possibly Keaton as well.
Yeah, definitely. So just any driver watching, we are going to review the safety car before the next race. So we understand it did cause the safety car glitch in our earlier two tiers, but I don't know if you caught any of the podium tier, Oz, but I was saying to Odems, we had 5 safety cars, 3 of which were they should have been, because a driver crashed out, you know, and it should have come out. It was the glitch still, but 3 of them they should have come out, and it really spiced up the racing, as painful it was to commentate on and fill the gaps. We can't take anything away from the racing as Sean gets ahead of his teammate. I don't think MLA was going to fight that one too hard, but Sean does have a massive gap to try and close in these final few laps. It looks like just 3rd might be the best he can do, but from 12th you have to say it's a good drive.
Yeah, definitely. Sean, he's driving well. He's obviously been hitting his apexes and putting the laps in to get from, as you said, 12th to 3rd. Very, very good drive. Possibly contender for drive of the day as well. I reckon
he could be a contender. Look at Black Mamba though. I'm riding on board with him. His car looks so beautifully hooked up around this track, and yeah, he's actually doing really well in that Renault at the moment. He's putting the pressure on one of the quickest guys on this game.
Yeah, definitely. He's gaining time on him in a lot of the corners. Often, I feel like in this track it's very, very difficult to overtake. but you've just got to have the courage to put your nose in there and go for it. He's just finding the right time to overtake, and I'm sure he will. He's got about 7 laps left to do it, and I'm sure he will.
It'll be interesting to see whether those super softs start to go off and they bring the soft tyre compound into play a little bit more that BSAS is running. And it'll be interesting, you know, which strategy was the one to go for. But at the moment, it looks like you know, BSAS is a bit under pressure here.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see some of the top names being put under pressure by some of the mid-pack drivers. It's great to see this, and I wish Black Mamba all the best. But also BSAS, he knows how to race at the front. He's won races, he won last year's championship, so he should be used to this kind of pressure that's being thrust upon him by Black Mamba.
Yeah, definitely. He's a man who knows how to deal with pressure, and you know, he's a champion for a reason. He's won multiple championships on this game, and you can't take anything away from, you know, pole to leading lap 23 at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. He's got all this experience, and he's showing it. And it's great to see. It's great to have these drivers here at this league to showcase how good the league is and how good they are as the drivers as well. So he's showing a good show.
Yeah, he's putting on a good show as Noik gets past Mali, so Noik back up into 7th position. Of course, started on the front row, had a bit of wing damage, and then went for the 2-stop strategy because of it. So yeah, it's good to see this great racing in the top tier. Black Mamba's fallen out of that slipstream DRS. So as I mentioned, perhaps those soft tyres starting to come into play a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. We all knew that towards the end of this race, the tyre strategies would come into play, and I think now this is we're getting to that stage where the super softs are starting to degrade, and the long-lasting soft tyre maybe come into play as well. So it's fantastic to watch to see the strategies coming into play now.
Yeah, it's been a right mixture of strategies. Perhaps as you could run through who's pitted what as we just ride on board. Oh, look at this. VSR Charles trying to go down the inside of M44, which is Techno Thriller, and I have to say that was, you know, perhaps a move that was kind of forced upon Techno as they changed positions, and that could be another one that goes to Stuart's office. Perhaps you could, as I was saying, run through who's done what stop here, 1 or 2.
Okay, so as we go on here, everyone in the top 6 has done a 1-stop. Noek has done 2 stops. Then we have Malikakak on the 1-stop. VSR Charles has done a 2-stop. M44 he's done a 1-stop. Switchy's done a 2-stop, and Jane Slater and Fletcher Boy have done a 1-stop. So at the moment we're seeing that 1-stop as being the strategy to do, and it's just depending on what tyre that 1-stop has been fitted. So if I go on to the tyres now, for the top 6 we've got BSAS and MLA who are on the soft tyre, Black Mamba, Kian and Odems are on the super softs, and Sean is the only top 6 driver to be on the ultra soft who's done a 1-stop. So
yeah,
varying tyre compounds, and it's fantastic to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah, definitely. He was able to do that, you know, that alternating strategy. Kian's actually closed in on what's happened here. What's happened to Sean? Sean's coming to pits. He's got what's happened to him? And he's getting a penalty. He's got no wing damage.
I think that he has used up the ultras. I think the ultra softs have just degraded so much that they're not working for him anymore.
He's under the pause screen as well, so he's serving that penalty. He's under the pause screen. So what has happened here? He was running comfortably in 3rd, and he looks like he might drop out the points. Kian's up in the 4th. Emily's back on the podium. Odems is in the top 5 again, under attack. So what's happened to Kian?
Kian's out. Kian's out.
Kian's binned it. No, he'll be so disappointed with that. He'll be absolutely heartbroken. One of our esports drivers. Is that on the kink down after the Singapore Sling, the main straight with DRS?
It is, I think so, yeah. I think it is. That's unlucky. That's He was having such a good race, and the past couple of races he hasn't had the results he's wanted, and he hasn't had the results that he's deserved, maybe. But this run of bad results has continued.
Sean is ghosted in the computer, by the way, so I don't know what's happened to him. That brings James Slater and switching into top 10. Everyone, of course, moves up. There was behind. Black Mamba isn't really able to do much behind BSAS now. Hello to everyone watching. You're closing in on the finale of another fantastic night F1 TS Hub. We haven't seen a safety car here in the Prestige tier at Singapore. Noik's closing in on Odems though, and this looks like it's going to be a tasty battle. Noik does have a lot of fresh tyres.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be a really good battle to watch. So I think we'll keep our eyes peeled and keep watching on this battle. I don't think anyone else is within DRS. Black Mamba has fallen to 1.2 seconds beyond V-Star, so his super softs are definitely starting to wear out. And I think the next closest is possibly Switchy on M44. 1.4, well, now 1.3 seconds behind. So that might develop into a close battle towards the end. So, yeah, things are... We've been seeing a lot of good overtaking and a lot of good battles during this race. How do you think it's been tonight with the racing?
In this tier or across all the tiers?
Across all the tiers,
yeah, basically, I think it's been a good night as Odems is under attack from Noik heavily here. This is pressure at its absolute max. Yeah, Kian, geez, I feel bad for him. That was a mistake that cost him dearly. He was going to score good. And I think the racing here has been fantastic. The Prestige tier, they show you why they're the top guys. They're going to finish with the most drivers, I believe, unless anyone has any, more last gas mistakes. But the safety car, yeah, they ruined. Well, I say they ruined the earlier tiers. They put a damper on it. But when I think about it, I said to Odems when we come off air of the podium tier, had there not been the safety cars, how many guys would have just crashed it? Just gone on 30 seconds off the place ahead of me, just crashed it, not try anymore, leave the session. And I don't in any way condone the glitch safety car, because obviously it's just not right. It shouldn't be there. But I think in that case earlier in the podium tier, 3 out of 5 of them were warranted, and yeah, I think it really added to the racing, albeit slightly fake. As it goes completely around the outside of Odems. He couldn't do anything there with the not fresher. I don't know what happened in the Pinnacle. I know they had the safety car glitch, and then from what I see, a few drivers aren't happy about it. All I can say is, the team will discuss the safety car glitch. I was saying in the podium tier as well that we've done about 50 races on this game, and we've had it 4 times, twice of which have been tonight, and once last week in the podium tier. So that is on this game. It's been on the entire time. And, it just shows you it's just been a bit unlucky for the guys for it to come out, because we have had the safety car F1 TS Hub on this game where it just works, and the virtual safety car. So it's one of those topics. Some people are going to be very happy that it happened, and others are going to be fuming.
Yeah, definitely. It's very unfortunate once it gets stuck into that glitch, and I suppose it puts it into like 5 lap quick races where you can go all out for 5 laps, and then all of a sudden you can have a bit of a breather for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3. And then again, you're off again for 5 laps, and you have that manic.
Around a track like this, I think sometimes some drivers will be breathing a sigh of relief, others will be absolutely cursing.
Yeah, definitely.
But at all means, are we not condoning it? It shouldn't be in the game. It should be fixed. They've done enough patches. It's just ridiculous. All these guys that are suffering from it. They've paid £40 for this game, and in my opinion, it just shouldn't. It's not acceptable. But what can I do? We'll obviously discuss it as a team whether we're going to turn it off for the rest of the season. It's not something I've personally ever wanted to do at F1 TS Hub, because we do the whole race the dream, live the dream. We want it to be as close to real F1 as possible, but obviously tonight, I understand drivers' frustrations. It wasn't as close to real F1. But we're on lap 20 out of 31. Let's get excited about this one. BSAS hasn't won a race this season. We have only completed 2 rounds after confirmation. Round 3 will be re-won. So again, if you don't know about that, head over to the website. You can see on the calendar page that round 3 Canada, the date has changed. So there is a rerun placed on the calendar later on. I believe it's next month. So yeah, looking forward to that. In Canada, we get to do that again. Obviously, I wasn't able to commentate due to circumstances. But yeah, of course, thank you to everyone, you know, for the kind messages after I had to go last week.
And at the moment, Beast has pulled away from Black Mamba for 2.4 seconds now, that gap is. Black Mamba seems to be losing time. So, barring penalties, that dreaded word penalties, Beast is on his way to winning his first race this season.
Yeah, so you've got Switchy, as Noah gets a penalty. Well, as you mentioned, the penalties will be interesting to see who changes from it. But what I'm amazed at is look at the pace of the top 2. MLA was on the same strategy as the top 2. Obviously, you know, Black Mamba went for a different tyre, but in terms of the same one-stop strategy, they pitted around the few laps they were. And look how it's, I mean, MLA has moved up. He didn't start as further up, but 30 seconds behind second place just shows you the pace of the top 2 today has been incredible.
Yeah, definitely. It just shows how high the standard is in the tier. It's fantastic to watch, and the lap times, you know, they're going to be super quick. They're going to be right at the top on the time trial rankings as well. So yeah, it's fantastic to see these drivers here showing what they can do.
Yeah, definitely. Just a reminder, everyone, that the Late Night Talk Show will be live on our YouTube channel at 10:30 p.m. UK time. So if you fancy tuning in to catch all the gossip and you know, we'll discuss the events. And yeah, I don't know whether you want to hang around for that one, Oz, but we're going to get a couple drivers from each tier. And we'll basically just we'll ask them a few questions. I didn't see the Pinnacle race, so maybe you could perhaps provide a bit of insight. But yeah, don't feel if you've got to head off. I understand as well. Lap 30 out of 31 here.
So yes, we're on the penultimate lap, and I think the closest battle is VSR Charles and Switchy. Oh no, Sean has just overtaken James Slater for 10th. So
he's back in his car.
That point towards the end of the season, should he finish 10th, could be the difference between the position. And Switchy is all over the back of VSR Charles. So hopefully he can make a move as he's on the compound. But that's the closest battle we've got so far. He's got DRS open. Let's see if he can overtake on turn 1, and he does it on the outside.
So, penultimate lap here. You know, 30 out of 31. This is the longest race on the calendar in terms of time. You know, it's a long track as well, Oz. It's difficult to keep your focus throughout the entire, you know, 31 laps. But look at Bisas. He's done exactly that so far.
Yeah, he has. I think one of the questions in the pre-race interviews was the physical aspect of this track. But I think it's more to do with the mental aspect of making sure that you're focused all the time, making sure you're concentrated, and making sure that you remember your braking points, so that you don't overshoot any of the apexes. But yeah, this circuit is the longest one this season, and you could get I think you can lose concentration very easily on this track. So they're doing really well.
Yeah, they definitely are. Bisas is on his final lap. We're still on board with VSR Charles. This is only for a couple points, but you can see they're going to give it everything. And other than that, it looks set to finish as they are on the screen at the moment. Bisas is coming into, he's in the middle sector now, so not long to go for him. We'll switch over to him when he gets near the finish line. But look at this. Is VSR Charles, is the Mercedes driver going to be able to do this, do you reckon, Oz?
I think he's with him being on the slower compound, he's doing really, really well to keep within the DRS window. So I think we'll find out now. He's on the home straight, and he's got to back out. I think Switchy's got the fresher tyre and he's got the quicker tyre as well, so I think it's going to be very, very difficult for VSR Charles. But I'm sure he'll battle all the way to the end to see if he can retake 7.
Yes, I'm sure he will. And on board with Beastas, he's a man who he knows how to win a race, and he's done just that from pole position. Fletcher Boy moves out the way so he doesn't have to do another lap, I think. Here comes Beastas to take his first win in Season 11. The defending champion of the top tier takes the full 25 points. Congratulations to him. Black Mamba's happy. He's got a good record in Singapore, a little bit of a weave. He's had a few bad races, and he needed that one. MLA now in the Ferrari, as VSS Charles still within half a second of Switchy. MLA coming onto the grandstand, and he's done a good job today. He did what he needed to do to get back on that podium.
Yeah, definitely a contender for driver of the day. He's done really, really well. I believe he started in 12th, but he's finishing in 3rd. So really, really good race. He's driven through the field, and fantastic drive.
Yeah, it definitely has. Odems has recovered up to 5th. You have to say, after what happened, which we don't know, that was a good recovery from him. Mally takes 6th. Good points haul for McLaren today.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to propel him up through the constructors. So really, really good combination of points tonight.
Look at VSO Charles. He's got him. We missed it on the last lap, but he's done it. He's got him, and Switchy crosses line just fine. I haven't seen too many changes in terms of penalties yet. But here comes Techno Thriller, his first points, I believe, of the season. James Slater finishes just outside the top 10. Yeah,
definitely. I think all these drivers will be proud of putting a really, really good race together. Fantastic racing, really, really good overtakes, and a good finish.
Yeah, definitely was a good finish, and champagne for BSAS. And the top step in Singapore. It's a race he hasn't won at F1 TS Hub, so he can tick that one off his list now, as 3 drivers head to the podium celebrations. 2 British drivers, of course, up there on the podium, which is always good to see for a league which is based in British. But it's also good to see, we've got a lot of drivers through across Europe, America, South America. It's great to see the whole F1 TS Hub, all across the world.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see drivers from across the world competing in the best leagues in the world as well. So yeah, it's fantastic to have all these big names from different parts of the world competing in this league.
Well, here we have it, the results of the Prestige tier, our top tier F1 TSR. Beastas wins for the first time in Season 11. Black Mamba takes 2nd, MLA takes 3rd, Noik takes 4th, Odin's 5th, Mally in 6th, BSR Charles in 7th, Switchy in 8th, Techno Thriller in 9th, Sean 10th, we don't know what happened to him, James Slater in 11th, Fletcher Boy in 12th, 13th Kian after he crashed out, and then we've got a few other cars that have crashed out as well that are computers. I believe one of them was De Fletcher, then you've got Skeven, it's Heskey time, and I'm not sure of the last one, but that's pretty good memory anyway. A few drivers with penalty, well done to those who didn't, so that's Mally, MLA, and James Slater, and Fletcher Boy as well, who finished the lap down. So, Oz, thank you very much for joining me in the commentary box. And it's been a fantastic race here at F1 TS Hub in the top tier. It's been a great night for F1 TS Hub. Singapore providing another few classics. And yeah, the late night chat show will be on at 10:30 on this channel. Make sure you tune into that and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks for joining me, Oz. Best of luck next week to yourself in your Pinnacle tier. And thank you everyone for watching tonight.